The lawmaking process begins in the legislative branch. The legislative branch is composed of Congress, which is made up of 100 senators and 435 representatives. A bill can be drafted by a member of Congress, the executive branch, or an outside group, but less than 10% of bills actually turn into laws. The first step is when the bill is introduced in the House. From there, the Speaker of the House will send the bill to the appropriate committee. When the bill arrives in the committee, most of the bills do die, but the committee may decide to table, pigeonhole, amend, or vote on the bill. If the bill passes, it then goes to the Rules Committee, and in the Rules Committee, they decide when the debate will be heard, and they will also set up the rules for the debate. The next step is called floor action, and this is where the House debates on the bill and can add amendments. If a majority votes in favor of the bill, it will then go to the Senate.
Once the House is voted and everything is debated and the floor action is completed, the resulting votes are majority favoring the bill. Then it's taken to the Senate and it's introduced to the Senate, just one Senate committee member, and then he introduced it to a committee where a committee votes on it. And if the committee votes that it's for the bill, then it's taken to the entire Senate, which it's then, voted again. So the entire Senate discusses and they can make adjustments and everything to the House's stuff. And if they like it, they vote on it, and it's then sent back to the House to see if they agree with it. And if they don't agree with it, another committee is put together, a couple from each from the House and the Senate is put together, they all vote with it, and they all make adjustments to agree on a compromise. And then after all that, once they put together what they agree on, it's sent to the President.
If the bill is sent to the President, he has 10 days to sign the bill for approval and make it a law. If he does not agree to the terms of the bill, he must send it back to Congress unsigned. He must also include, in writing, his objections to the bill. 2/3 of Congress must override the veto for it to become a law without the President's approval. Congress must adjust the law and send it back to the President again. The legislative, executive, and judicial branch all have different responsibilities that counterbalance each other and ensure that not too much power is concentrated into one branch. This is called checks and balances.
In the legislative branch, Congress checks over both the executive branch and the judicial branch. One of the legislative branch's checks that they do is in terms of presidential nominations. We recently saw this where Brett Kavanaugh was appointed to the Supreme Court with the majority vote in the Senate. Congress also controls our budget, and they can override a president's veto with 2/3 vote in both houses. The last thing that they have the power to do is impeach a president from his or her positions and remove them from office. The legislative branch also checks over the judicial branch, as they are able to impeach and remove judges from their positions.
The executive branch checks the legislative branch by just vetoing bills. The executive branch checks over the judicial branch by they're allowed to nominate judges.
The judicial branch can declare presidential acts unconstitutional as well as declaring laws unconstitutional.